Hey everybody, it's Christopher Small, the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning, we do probate, we do it well. Today, I want to talk to you about whether or not or how revocable and irrevocable trusts work together. Before I get to that, though, I want to remind you if you have questions about this or anything else related to estate planning or probate, and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. Okay. This is a question that I was asked today. Had a client call, and I'm doing some work, estate planning work for them. Clearly, that's what we do here. And the client asked me about creating a trust, an irrevocable trust, to go along with their revocable trust. They have assets north of, let's say, north of $20 million. Might be more than that. Might be significantly more than that. And they are trying to, put together their plan, taking into consideration estate taxes and things of that nature, and are wanting to put everything together. And in the course of that, creating a revocable trust, wanting to know whether or not it was the right time to make an irrevocable trust, and then also whether or not the revocable and the irrevocable trust sort of work together. The answer is not really. They don't really work together. And they don't really work together sort of on purpose. They serve two different sort of aims and goals for the client. And those goals are sort of, they're not in conflict with each other, but they sort of do the exact opposite thing of one another. So the revocable trust, a revocable trust, a trust that you can change, a trust that you have authority over and can control over, those assets that you create within a revocable trust, they remain a part of your estate. So anything that's in a revocable trust, when you die, would be taxed for estate purposes. Also, anything inside of the revocable trust is going to be distributed and managed and handled under the terms of that trust. Unless there was some reference to an irrevocable trust or any other kind of trust, anything outside of the revocable trust would operate independently of that trust. For example, let's say you had a life insurance policy or you had a bank account and it had a beneficiary designation to someone other than the trust. When you died, that life insurance policy or that bank account would pay out to whoever you named as the beneficiary on that account, and the trust would have nothing to do with it. The trust would have no control over that. The trust would have no direction over that. The trust would literally just not be a part of that distribution at all. The same thing kind of works when you have an irrevocable trust. Now, the point of an irrevocable trust is, for the most part, to take assets out of your estate. Often this is done for estate tax purposes. There can be some other purposes that it's done for, more related to asset protection and things like that. But generally, most people do it for estate tax planning purposes. When you create this irrevocable trust and you transfer assets into that trust, they really become wholly owned and operated in a way by that irrevocable trust. It's almost like giving those assets to another person. When you do that, you lose control over that. Your revocable trust, which you have control over, also has no control over that irrevocable trust. And so the two don't operate together. They don't work together. They don't talk together. You would very rarely have any distributions going from a revocable trust to an irrevocable trust and vice versa, unless they were trusts that were sort of not part of the same family. I don't see very many reasons or opportunities for those types of things to happen. So the short answer is, the sort of a non-crazy attorney answer is, they do not talk to each other. They do not work with each other. They are separate and apart from each other. Irrevocable trusts and revocable trusts. And I would think of it like this. If you had 100 acres of land, you build your house, okay, that you're going to live in. It's going to be your primary residence, okay? That would be where your power of attorney resides, medical power of attorney, your will, and your revocable trust. They all reside here at the homestead, right? Your primary residence. Now, let's say you have 100 acres. So you want to build like a vacation home, right? You want to put a vacation spot on there for your family to come and hang out. That vacation home would be like an irrevocable trust, okay? They don't work together. They don't talk together. They don't live together, but they could be sort of on the same property, right? Because they're sort of part of your plan. And you could create many different irrevocable trusts depending on how big your estate was, how high how big your assets were, and then also what you're trying to do with those assets. All right, so hopefully I didn't make that too complicated. It's really not that complicated. The short answer is they don't work together, they don't talk together. They are separate and apart from each other for the most part. All right, that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe hit the like button. If you have a question or comment, please leave it. I will answer it. If you're watching this or listening to this anywhere else that you can leave a comment or subscribe or whatever, and you don't want to miss any further exciting information, hit the subscribe button or do whatever you got to do. As always, if you have questions related to this or anything else related to estate planning or probate, and you want to talk with us over the phone for free, you can do so by going to cmslawfirm.com. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'm Christopher Small. I'm the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning. We do probate. We do it well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Appreciate you. And I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.